You ready? Good afternoon, folks, and welcome to a great day of baseball between the Cape Henry Dolphins and the Bruins from Western Branch High School in Chesapeake, Virginia. I'm Chris Souther, and I'm joined by our student tech team consisting of Wyatt, Cameron, and RJ. The Bruins entered today's game with a record of 10-3 and ranked 17th in the state of Virginia. They have scored 98 runs in 13 games and are 5-2 on the road. The Dolphins are currently 20-4 and ranked 9th in the state. They have scored 210 runs in 24 games, and they are a perfect 14-0 at home. Against common opponents, the Dolphins are 3-1, and the Bruins are 2-2. So this is an evenly matched game and a very competitive state for baseball. Should be a good test for the Dolphins, who are the defending state champions. Weather-wise, we have a beautiful, slightly windy day. Temps are hovering in the 60s. Field's in excellent shape, thanks to the hardworking athletic department and field crew from Cape Henry Collegiate. Dolphins head coach is Chris Dotello, assistant coaches William Chadwick and Ian Morrison, and the Cougars are coached by Roland Wright. We'll give you the starting lineups now for the Bruins. Leading off today will be number 2, Jacob Wright, left fielder. Number 18, Nick Poole in center field. Number 4, Logan Adams at third. 24 is PJ Tone at first. 22 is Carter Cron DHing. Number 5 is Joshua Wright at short. Number 7 is Parker Coyle at catcher. Number 17, Marquise Smith in right field. Number 15 is Seth Sadler at second. And the pitcher today is Gavin Bernal. Bernal is pitching today, number 23. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to baseball game between Cape Henry Collegiate Dolphins and the Western Branch High School from Chesapeake, Virginia. Now batting, number 2, Jacob Wright, left fielder. Pitching for the Dolphins today is Tanner Shadle, and Tanner's got a wonderful ERA of .33, and he takes inside for strike 1. So Shadle starts off with a strike. There's a fly ball but foul on the left side, strike 2. So Jacob Wright, the left fielder, is behind 0-2. The umpires today, Gavin's working the plate and Manny in the field. That's low, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's a nice curveball on the outside corner for strike 3. So there's the first out of the inning. Now batting, number 18, Nick Poole, center field. Poole takes low, ball 1. That ball's a little low, ball 2. There's a ground ball to the second baseman, Chris Martinez. He comes up and fires over to Parker White at first for the first out of the inning, the second out of the inning. So that goes down as a 4-3, and that's out number 2. Now batting, number 4, Logan Adams, third base. Logan takes down the middle for off-speed strike one. He grounds the ball, but foul over to the left side of the field in front of the Dolphins dugout. Strike two. So Shadle works pretty quick, pitcher for the Dolphins. And he strikes out Adams on a nasty outside pitch. Adams is caught looking. Well, that's actually a half swing, so we'll call it a strikeout there. So 3 up, 3 down for the Bruins of Western Branch. And that'll bring up the Cape Henry Dolphins. So let's give you their order. For the Dolphins, leading off is Yoon Che, shortstop, number 3. Number 26, Jack Wickham, the third baseman. Number 1 in pitching, Tanner Shadle. Number 14, catching, Cooper Angley. Number 4, Andrew Hart in center field. Number 12, Parker White, first base. Number 34, Nate Jensen, right field. Number 6, Reed Downs in left field. And number 35, Chris Martinez at second base. As I mentioned, the Dolphins are 20-4. They've scored 210 runs, so almost 10 runs an inning a game. And so this is both teams actually come in scoring a lot of runs in their game. So we'll see if the pitchers do their job and keep the base runners off the base pass and the runs down. But as I said, the Cape Henry Collegiate Dolphins are used to scoring a lot of runs, and that puts a lot of pressure on any opposing pitcher. And starting today is Gavin Bonneau, and he's a left-hander, number 23. Now batting number 3, Yoon Che, shortstop. So Yoon steps in, and he swings at the first off-speed pitch for strike one. Yoon is batting .388 with 26 hits, 21 RBIs, 4 doubles, a triple, and a home run. And he takes strike 2. So 2 quick strikes from Bonneau. And he skies that one to right, and that's going to be in the gap. So Dolphins have their first base hit. It goes all the way to the fence. Western Branch gets it in, and Yoon is standing with a double. So a leadoff double by Yoon Che. Now batting, number 26, Jack Wickham, third base. So Wickham stands in. Jack is batting .299 with 20 hits, 21 RBIs, 6 doubles, and a home run. So he's already got a runner in scoring position at second base. And he shows bunt but doesn't go. They throw it down, and Yoon, they throw the ball, and it goes past the shortstop, and that puts Yoon over at third base. So Yoon gets a chance to go to third on a error by the shortstop on that throw. And so that gives Jack Wickham a chance to get Che in with a long fly ball or anything. And he takes a strike on the outside corner for strike 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike for Wickham. Che standing at third. And the pitch. And he does hit a high fly ball, but that's going to be out of play on the right side. Foul ball. So 1 ball and 2 strikes on Wickham, with Yoon Che standing on third. The pitcher, Tanner Shadle, is on deck and the catcher, Cooper Angley, in the hole. And Wickham strikes out on a nice outside curveball for out number 1. Now batting number 1, Tanner Shadle, pitcher. Tanner swings and fouls that one off for strike 1. Looks out of the outside corner, strike 2. So Gavin Bonneau, excuse me, Gavin Bonneau is picking on that outside corner, and he's getting the calls by the home plate umpire, Gavin. This time he misses high and outside for ball 1. So Shadle is behind the count, 1-2. Runner on third, 1 out here in the bottom of the first. No score. That ball is low in the dirt, but nice stop there by the catcher. Parker Coyle. Tanner just gets a piece of that ball from the outside corner for a foul. Ball inside. So Shadle has got the count worked to his favor now. 3-2. Chase standing on third, 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Wind is actually blowing out, straight out into our faces. And he does hit a high fly ball, and it's to the center fielder. That should get Yoon home, and it does. And so Tanner does his job with a sacrifice fly, and that scores the first run of the inning. Now batting number 14, Cooper Angley, catcher. So Cooper comes up. With nobody on and 2 outs, and he swings at the first pitch. Strike 1. Swings again, strike 2. And almost just on the outside corner for ball 1. Nick. And the pitch. Cooper fouls that one back behind the plate. Coop's got a 1-2 count, and he swings in the dirt. And they said he did not go around, so it's 2 balls and 2 strikes on Angley here in the first inning. And that time he does swing and strikes out. Catcher holds on. Parker Coyle. But the Dolphins do score a run on Yoon Che's double. Moved over on an attempted pickoff that went errant. Went to third base and then scored on Tanner Shadle's fly ball to center field for a 1-run lead. So after 1, the score is 1-0 Dolphins over the Western Branch Bruins. Now batting, number 24, P.J. Tone, first baseman. So P.J. Tone leads off, and he gets hit. So he reaches on, hits batsman. And so Western Branch has their first runner of the game. Now batting, number 22, Carter Cron, DH. Cron hits the ball out of bounds, out of left side of the field for strike one. So first runner for Western Branch. And there's a line drive that goes through the mitt of Yoon Che, picked up by Hart. Yoon had that. It just kind of went by his glove. I mean, he was there. He was in the right position, but it went right by him. And I don't think it even hit his glove, so that's going to go as a base hit. So a hit batsman and a base hit, and Western Branch has it in business. Now batting, number 5, Joshua Wright, shortstop. So Wright is up now, the shortstop, with runners on first and second. Shows bunt, doesn't deliver. And Shadle throws the ball outside for a strike call on the outside corner. So Dolphins could use a double play or some sort of out at third. No outs. 1-0 Cape Henry over Western Branch. We're in the top of the second. Western Branch is threatening to tie the game and take the lead. 2 strikes now on Joshua Wright, the shortstop. Parker Coyle on deck, the catcher, and Marquise Smith in the hole. No outs, top of the second. That's high ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cron is the number 5 hitter. And there's a ground ball to Wickham, who makes a beautiful double play. So Wickham starts that double play 5-3, but he gets the runner at second for the first out, and the hitter for the second, makes a nice play there. Now batting, number 7, Parker Coyle, catcher. So that brings Coyle up with a man on second, and now 2 outs. So just what the doctor ordered, a ground ball to Wickham, steps on third, fires it over to first for a 5-3 double play. Perfect scenario for the Cape Henry Dolphins. So the defense showed up there big time. There's a nice off-speed pitch by Shadle for the second strike on Parker Coyle. And the pitch outside, but just a little outside. There's a ground ball up the middle. Che will have to make a quick throw. He does, and a beautiful scoop by Parker White. And I think they're saying his foot was off the base. So, looked like an out from here. And I think the Dolphins coach is going to come out and ask what happened. His foot was on the base, it appears to us. And the throw certainly beat him. So I'm not sure what the umpire on the field, Manny, saw that is different from what the rest of us saw. And I think now coach is going to ask for the umpires to talk to each other and see if the home plate umpire saw his foot stay on the bag. This rarely is overturned, as the case will be. So runner goes to third. That's going to be an infield hit for Coyle. Now batting, number 17, Marquise Smith, right field. So runners on first and third. 2 outs. And the Dolphins are conferring. Umpires are going to get together as well. Wyatt, how did that play look at first base to you? Was his foot on the base? Okay. So our cameraman is telling us that his quality of cameraing will work there. Will work there. We'll look at this in slow motion when we get to YouTube later tonight. In any event, 2 outs, 2 on, top of the second, and the first pitch to Marquise Smith is a curveball for strike 1. Best pitch in baseball, strike 1. The runner at first, Parker Coyle, is their catcher. Probably does not have great speed. They throw over anyway. So good opportunity here if Western Branch can get something going. And he swings at a nice inside pitch for strike 2. Dolphins can get a force at second or a play at first. There's 2 outs. Runner on third is P.J. Tone, the first baseman. And there's a pitch just off the outside corner, ball 1. Bruins making a lot of noise in their dugout. And they do send the runner, and it's a foul ball. So Coyle, the catcher, was off and running. Excuse me, that is not Coyle. So they've got a pitch runner for Coyle, number 17. Or 16, that's Zach Kincaid, the outfielder. Oh, and that ball almost hits Smith. He just got out of the way. Two balls, 2 strikes. There's a ground ball, and that's going to be tough play for Wickham. He double pumps, and they get him. And this time, the umpire does ring him up. And that time, it looked like Parker's foot was off the bag, but the umpire rang him up. And so no runs in that inning. So a nice play. Wickham, 5-3. There's your 5-3 that does count for the third out. And the Bruins leave a runner stranded at third base. So after top half of the second, it's a 1-0 game, Cape Henry Collegiate Dolphins. Cape Henry will start this inning with the center fielder Andrew Hart, first baseman Parker Wright, and right fielder Nate Jensen. Pitcher Benoit is got an ERA of 1.79. He's appeared in 5 games and he's 1-1. Now batting number 4, Andrew Hart, center field. And Andrew takes ball 1 inside. And Andrew hits a high fly ball to the right side. That's going to be out of play. Strike 1. Andrew's batting .419 for the season. He's got 31 hits, 25 RBIs, 4 doubles, and 3 homers. And he takes a ball on the outside corner for a strike. Grounds the one up the middle, and that goes off the pitcher, and there's no way they're going to get Andrew. He's the fastest guy on the team. So, Hart is aboard with an infield hit. Now batting number 12, Parker Wright, first baseman. Parker is batting .380 with 30 hits, 30 RBIs, 6 doubles, and 5 home runs. And he's hit with a pitch. So Parker will go to first base. And that'll bring up, now batting number 34, Nate Jensen, right field. Nate Jensen, the right fielder. So the Dolphins have 2 on, and he goes to bunt, and that's out of play. He takes strike down the middle for strike 2. So Jensen's already in the hole, 2 strikes, with runners on first and second. Hart's the fastest guy on the team, so a base hit will definitely get him home. And Nate swings through that pitch for strike 3. So 1 out. Now batting number 6, Reed Downs, left field. Downs is hitting .222 for the year, left-hander. Hasn't played a whole lot. May go a pickoff attempt to get Andrew Hart over at second, but he's back in time. So Reed's this is only the 6th game that he's been in. Dolphins going with a little bit of a different lineup today. Squares to bunt, takes it out, and there's Hart, and Hart is going to get there standing. So good double steal there for the Dolphins. And that was a ball on Reed Downs. So 1 ball, no strikes. Runners now at second and third. Downs swings through that pitch by Benoit. So Gavin Benoit looking to get out of it. He struck out Jensen. So Downs looking to get a hit and drive in 2. He takes a ball, and that's called a strike on the outside corner. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runners on second and third, 1 out here in the bottom of the second. And he strikes out on a fastball, down the middle. And so after giving up a base hit and a hit by pitch, he struck out the last 2 batters. Now batting number 35, Chris Martinez, second baseman. Chris takes a strike right down the middle. Strike two on the outside corner. So Martinez is behind 0-2. Ball outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 1-0. 2 runners on for the Dolphins in this anticipated matchup between Cape Henry and Western Branch of Chesapeake. He goes a little fishing for that ball, high and outside, and fouls it back. So Hart at third base, Parker White at second, and the freshman, Chris Martinez, who's batting .426, and he does hit one but foul on the right side. Martinez has got 23 hits, 15 RBIs, 1 double, and 1 home run. So looking for a hit here would greatly increase. And he does ground this one, and it's a little nubber, and the pitcher can't make the play, and that gets a run home. So Martinez gets a little infield hit, and that gets Hart home. And that brings up the top of the order. Now batting number 3, Yoon Che, shortstop. Yoon reached on a double his first time up. Parker White goes to third. So it was effective. It wasn't very far, probably a 25-foot base hit, if that. But Martinez has good speed at first base now, and he got out of the box in a hurry, and the pitcher, Gavin Bonneau, tried to pick it up with his glove and I guess shovel it to first, and it never got in his glove nor out. So it just stayed on the field for an infield base hit and a run-scoring RBI. And Yoon is behind in the count, 0-2. Runners on first and third. Don't think they'll send Martinez here, but you never know. 2-strike count. And they do send him, and there's a ground ball, and that's going to get in the hole for another hit. So Yoon gets another hit, and he's got 2 RBIs. Now batting number 26, Jack Wickham, third base. Wickham struck out his first time up. As we said, Wickham is batting .299. Probably a little less now after the first inning. And he's got runners on first and second. He takes low inside, ball 1. So Hart has scored, White has scored, Jensen and Downs struck out. Martinez is standing at second, and Che at first. So Dolphins doing what the Dolphins do with 2 outs, scoring runs. Oh, and there's a pickoff attempt, but it's not quite in time. Good attempt. Martinez has good speed. He got back in a hurry. So Wickham stands in and looks with a 1-0 count, and he drives the ball high, but it's going to be out of play on the right side. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, bottom of the second, 3-0 Cape Henry Collegiate Dolphins. And they have done all of this with 2 outs. This is how a team scores 10 runs a game on average. And there's a ground ball to the third baseman, who goes to make the play, and he does. He tags out Martinez, and the field umpire called him out. It looked like Martinez did not get tagged, but the field umpire said he did. So that's going to be a fielder's choice for Wickham and on Martinez. That'll be the third out there. But the Dolphins come up with 2 big runs on 2 out hits by Martinez and Yoon Che, and that gives them a 3-0 lead going into the third. Leading off for the Bruins of Western Branch is Seth Sadler, the second baseman. And then the top of the order, Jacob Wright in left field and Nick Poole, the center fielder. Now batting, number 15, Seth Sadler, second base. Sadler's batting .259 with 7 hits, 4 RBIs, and 1 double. This is his first time up in this game. And he takes strike 1, fouls it back. Curveball just on the inside corner, but not given the strike there by the home plate umpire, Gavin. It's off just a little bit. There's one right down the middle and a beautiful hop over to the second baseman, Martinez, for out number 1. Now batting number 2, Jacob Wright, left field. Wright struck out his last time up at bat. Jacob is batting .238, and he takes inside for a ball. That was a nice hop for Martinez. That ball was scolded, and it took a beautiful hop. And there's a fair ball inside the first base, and a beautiful throw by Nate Jensen, but that's going to result in a double. So Jacob Wright doubles to second. He goes. Now batting number 18, Nick Poole, center fielder. That brings up Nick Poole, and Nick grounded out to the second baseman his first time up. So with 1 out and a runner at second, the center fielder, Nick Poole, enters the game for his second time at bat, and he takes strike 1 down the middle. Again, Western Branch is 10-3, 17th in the state. They're 8-2 in their own division, their region. So this is a good baseball team as well. There's a beautiful pitch on the outside corner for strike 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike on Poole. Jacob Wright, the left fielder, is standing at second. There's a ball out of play on the left side of the infield. So that's strike 2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Logan Adams, the third baseman, on deck. He struck out his last time up. P.J. Tone, the first baseman, who was hit by a pitch, is in the hole. There's a ball in the dirt. Nice play by Cooper Angley there. So the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Scoreboard has 1 and 2. I have it as 2 and 2. We'll see how that plays out. There's a ground ball, and that's going to be a play for Martinez. So he makes a nice play there. So Poole does the 4-3 out again. Now batting number 4, Logan Adams, third base. Adams struck out his last time up, so that advances the runner over to third. 2 outs here. Logan Adams is at bat, and as I said, he struck out the first time up, and he takes strike 1 there. Adams is batting .318, one of the better hitters, second best hitter on the team. He needs to do something here to get a run home. Ball way outside. Angley comes out and makes a nice catch there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ooh, curveball that just misses on the inside corner. Ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Runner on third. 3-0 Cape Henry. There's a nice pitch right down the middle for strike 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 3-0 Cape Henry over the Western Branch Bruins. And there's a beautiful third strike, swinging strike. So the Bruins get a runner all the way to third, but they cannot get him home after a double. And so Jacob Wright is left at third, stranded, and that's another 0 in the run column. The Dolphins will send up their pitcher, Tanner Shadle. Cooper Angley, the catcher, will follow him, and then Andrew Hart, the center fielder, will follow him. Now batting number 1, Tanner Shadle, pitcher. Hey, number 8. Pitcher's name is Beno. Did not. Got it. All right, here we go. Tanner Shadle leads off. And Gavin Benott, I've been told is his name, starts him off with a ball on the outside corner. There's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Benott's pitched a pretty good game. Dolphins haven't really hit him around. They've just made the best of what they have. There's a ball outside to Shadle. As we mentioned, Tanner's batting .470. For the number of games he's played, he's the number 1 hitter on the team. Doesn't have the highest average, but certainly for the number of times he's been at bat, he does. And he thought he was walking. That was only the second ball, so it's a 2-1 count, or 3-1 now. So Tanner lost track of the count, a little embarrassed, but he stands in with a 3-1 count, and we'll see what Benott gives him here. And he gives him a nice pitch, and Tanner swings through it for a full count. And there's a little blooper over the second baseman's head, and nobody can get there. And so the right fielder comes and gets it. So there's a seeing eye base hit by Tanner Shadle. So the Dolphins have a runner on first. Now batting, number 14, Cooper Angley, catcher. So Angley stands in. He struck out his first time at bat. Tanner Shadle, the pitcher, at first. He does have some good wheels. Not sure if he'll do anything with it. And with a with a southpaw, a lefty on the mound in Gavin Banat, he'll have to stick close to first. There's a foul ball back. 1 ball, 1 strike. As I said, Angley struck out on a 2-2 count in the first inning. We'll see if he can move Shadle over. Ball outside. Angley with a 2-1 count. Foul back. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out here in the bottom of the third. Cape Henry leading 3-0 over the Western Branch Bruins on this gorgeous Friday afternoon here in the 757 Cape Henry Collegiate Baseball Facility. There's a ball just outside for ball 3. So a full count to Cooper Angley, the catcher. Tanner Shadle, the pitcher, is at first. He goes, and it's ball 4. Now batting, number 4, Andrew Hart, center field. So runners on first and second for Andrew Hart, the center fielder. And they're going to want to talk to him as the coach, Roland Wright, comes out to talk to his pitcher, Gavin Banat. And we'll see if they have any kind of a play on here. There's no outs. Hart singled his first time up and scored. And as we know, Andrew's got really quick feet. So anything in the infield is going to put pressure on the infielders to get that ball over to first or get some sort of a force out. He shows bunt but takes a ball outside, and it gets away from the catcher, and that's going to give Tanner Shadle a free and easy pass down to third base. So we're going to call that a pass ball. Angley stayed at first. Shadle went to third, and that's ball 1 on Hart. And Gavin Banat takes a step off the mound, looks it over, and now here he comes. Number 23 delivers to number 4, and it's high and outside ball. 2 balls, no strikes. Banat has got to find a way to get out of this inning, or the Dolphins, with nobody out and 2 runners on, could turn this into a big inning. They are in the heart of their order. And there goes Angley down to second, but Hart fouls it back. So Angley's got to go back to first. On a 2-1 count now, we'll do it all over again. See if Angley gets the steal sign again. Wouldn't be surprised if Banat throws it over to first. They are holding Angley on a little bit. He does not. He delivers, and that ball is called a strike on the outside corner to Andrew Hart. And that ball has been called, or that pitch has been called a strike all day long. So home plate umpire Gavin being consistent with his calls there for both teams. That's what you want in a home plate umpire, consistency. And Angley does go, and he steals on a good pitch, a very outside ball 3. So full count now on Hart. Angley steals second without a throw. Shadle is at third on a pass ball. And there's a line shot to center field. Center fielder makes a nice catch. That's going to get a tag. And so Good play there by Hart. So Hart has a sacrifice fly. Cooper goes to third. Now batting, number 12, Parker White, first base. Parker White comes up. He was hit by a pitch his first time at bat and scored. And lefty to lefty, and that ball is hit far but foul on the left side. Angley standing at third with 1 out and 1 run in. And Parker sends a nice flare into short left field, and that gets Angley home, and that's an RBI single for Parker White. Now batting, number 34, Nate Jensen, right field. Jensen struck out his first time at bat. Dolphins have 2 runs in, and as we said, Dolphins usually score in a bunch, and they're looking to do some more damage here. Already a somewhat crooked number on the board, and there's ball 1 to Jensen. Parker White at first does not have great speed. Probably leave him there. He takes low, ball 2. Now the catcher, Coyle, is going to go out and talk to Bernat. Settle him down a little bit. There's only 1 out, and he certainly doesn't want to get this game out of hand too quickly. Throws over to first, and as I said, Parker White, not known for his speed, had only a 2-step lead, so only had to make 2 steps back to first base. That pitch was probably just a reset for Bernat. And the pitch, that's called on the outside corner, strike 1. So 2 balls, 1 strike to Jensen. Reed Downs is in the on-deck circle, and Chris Martinez, who got a big hit his last time up, is in the hole. That ball is up and outside. 3 balls, 1 strike for Jensen. Nate batting .288, a little lower now after the first inning, or first time up. Nate's been the right fielder all season long for the Dolphins. Done a great job out there, and he takes a walk. Ball 4. Now batting, number 6, Reed Downs, left field. Button's a little testy. So Downs shows up. He's got a strikeout on the resume for the day, but he's got 2 runners on and only 1 out. So we'll see what Reed does here. Either move them along, or he does. He shows bunt, and he does, and he lays down a beautiful bunt to the pitcher, who throws it over to first base. So Downs does his job on a sacrifice bunt for the 2nd out, and that gets the runners over. And that brings up, now batting, number 35, Chris Martinez, second base. Martinez, who we said has already singled, so he's got 2 runners in scoring position, and he takes low, ball 1. And this time Martinez drives the ball to the right field, but that's going to be out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Beautiful day, except up here in the booth where the wind gets to kick up a little bit. So we get any kind of wind that's on the field, we get it, and it is blowing directly at us from home to center. Here's another foul ball back. Martinez has got 1 ball and 2 strikes. So pitchers count for Bernat. 2 outs, 2 on, 5-0 Dolphins, and that ball is outside for ball 2. We are in the bottom of the third. Bernat wanted that pitch, but that was outside. As I said, home plate umpire Gavin's been doing a nice job being consistent on the outside corner. That one missed. This one is a little more inside and a little more to Martinez's liking, but he fouls it off into the playground. So we've got 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runs in. If number 2 is your favorite number, this is the play to be. And there's a scorcher to the second baseman, but right at him, and he makes the play to first. So that's going to do it for the Dolphins. So Martinez goes down 4-3 for the third out, and the Dolphins leave 2 runners on. But then in the third inning, they get 2 more for a 5-0 lead. And we'll go to the 4th inning in a minute. So here we are in the 4th. PJ Tone will be leading off for the Bruins, followed by Carter Cron and Joshua Wright. Now batting, number 24, PJ Tone, first base. And Shado delivers, and that's low, ball 1. Ball 2. PJ is batting .333 on the season. And he lines a ball, and that's going to be in the gap. And so Jensen picks it up, and he fires to second base. And PJ Tone, number 24, is in with a stand-up or sliding double. So again, the Bruins get their first base runner on, and that's going to bring up. Now batting, number 22, Carter Cron, DH. Carter Cron singled his first time up. And he hits a high fly ball, but right at the center fielder, Andrew Hart. Hart makes the catch, and he throws a bullet to Yoon Che at short for the first out of the inning. Now batting, number 5, Joshua Wright, shortstop. So Wright comes up, and he grounded out to Wickham at third, his first time up. Joshua's batting .238 for the season, and he takes high, ball 1. So PJ Tone leads off, the first baseman, with a double. Carter Cron follows with a center field fly out. And here's another fly ball, and that's going to be another out to the center fielder, Andrew Hart, for the second out of the inning. Now batting, number 7, Parker Coyle, catcher. That brings up Parker Coyle. And Parker singled his first time up and was left stranded at first base. So a leadoff double and then 2 quick outs, both fly balls to the center fielder, Andrew Hart. And now the Bruins are left with 2 outs and a man on second. But their catcher is up, and he singled his last time up. So looking to do that again, and he takes high ball. So 2 balls for Coyle. Marquise Smith, the right fielder, is on deck. That ball is high. Ball 3. So first base open. Not sure if Tanner is purposely pitching around him. He's got a 5-0 lead with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. He'll probably throw one right down the middle here and see what he can do with it. He does, and there's strike 1, and it is called a ball. Okay, so there's ball 4. So first and second. Now batting number 17, Marquise Smith, right field. So looks like maybe the home plate umpire missed that one, but first and second, 2 outs, 5-0 Cape Henry Dolphins over the Western Branch Bruins, and Cooper Angley calls time from behind the plate. Tone is at second, Coyle at first. Smith is on, and he grounded out to the third baseman, Jack Wickham, last time. And this time he sends a high fly ball, but it's right at the second baseman, or I should say it's right at the right fielder, Nate Jensen, but Adam Hart takes care of it anyway. So that's an F8 for the 3rd out of the inning. And our center fielder, when he calls it, he gets it. So a leadoff double goes to waste by the Bruins when they fly out to the center fielder, Andrew Hart, 3 times in a row. Actually, that last one was to the right fielder, Nate Jensen, that Hart took, picked his pocket. But still, 3 fly balls. So Tanner Shadle does his job after giving up a leadoff double. Gets the next 3 batters, and that's that. Actually, after giving up the double, 2 flyouts, a walk, and then another flyout. Dolphins are going to start with the top of the order, and that's going to be Yoon Che. Pitcher for the Bruins is still number 23, Gavin Bernat. He hasn't done that badly. He's given up 5 runs, but again, mostly singles and balls hit through the middle. Now batting number 3, Yoon Che, shortstop. And Che stands in and takes a bouncing ball number 1. Wickham on deck. So Yoon has doubled and singled in this game. So he's 2 for 2. And he leads off the 5th inning, or the bottom of the 4th, excuse me. And there's a swinging strike for strike 1. Ball low. 2 balls, 1 strike. Again, Yoon batting .338 and higher now for his 2 hits in this game, and he swings at a pretty outside pitch for strike 2. So just doing some math in my head, I'd say Yoon is batting over .390. And he lifts this one up into right field, and the right fielder, Nick Poole, gets under it and puts Yoon out for the first time today. So there's the Dolphins' first batter out in the inning. Now batting, number 26, Jack Wickham, third baseman. That brings up the third baseman, Jack Wickham. Wickham struck out and hit into a fielder's choice, his 2 times up. And he takes outside ball 1. Fouls it off his foot for strike 1. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Low ball 2. Here in the bottom of the 4th, Cape Henry Collegiate Dolphins leading 5-0 over the Western Branch Bruins on this beautiful Friday, Cinco de Mayo. There's a strike. So happy Cinco de Mayo Day, when the Mexican army defeated Napoleon in 1862. And there's a hard hit ball to the shortstop, who makes a nice backhand play and throw, but he pulls the first baseman, who made also a beautiful play, off the bag. And that's going to go in as an inside base hit, infield base hit for Wickham. Now batting, number 1, Tanner Shadle, pitcher. So Tanner comes up. He flied out to the center fielder, and he singled his last time up, and he takes outside strike 1. So Dolphins have a runner on with 1 out. Ball low on the outside corner. So Shadle has got 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 balls, no strikes, but there's ball outside. Showing 2-1. The first pitch was a ball, but anyway, again, hard to see from all the way out here, dead center field. That ball is up and out. So that's ball 3. So Shadle's got 3 balls and 1 strike, 1 out, runner on first in Jack Wickham. Angley is in the hole, or on deck. Hart is in the hole. And here's the pitch, and that's foul back. Full count on Tanner. Wickham, good wheels when he gets going. But from a dead stop, Jack's not the fastest car on the track, so we'll see. And he does take off on that pitch, and he does get down to second base. So might have been a hit and run call. Shadle swung through his pitch, but it's a stolen base for Wickham. Now batting, number 14, Cooper Angley, catcher. So Shadle K's for the second out of the inning, and that brings up Cooper. And Cooper struck out and singled. His last time at bat. Ball way outside there. Cooper in head of the count, 2-0. Cooper hitting .348 on the season before today. That ball's called a strike. They throw down to second, but Wickham is back in plenty of time. Andrew Hart on deck. Angley hits a high fly ball to left field, and the left fielder, number 2, is there, and he makes the play. So Jacob Wright makes the play for the third out. So Angley flies out to the left fielder for the third out of the inning. So the Dolphins do not score in this frame. That's the first zero they've put up on the board, and that's going to make it 5-0 after 4 innings of play. When the wind dies down, it gets a little toasty up here, which is a nice change of pace considering we're usually freezing. The mobile booth here is made completely of metal with a lot of holes that the wind can whip through, and this spring has not exactly been burning it up on the temperature scale, but it's nice now, and that's a good day to play baseball. Now batting number 15, Seth Sadler, second base. So Sadler stands in. He grounded out to the second baseman his last time up, but this time up he grounds it past the second baseman for a base hit. So Sadler's on a base hit. So he's on base, and that brings up the top of the order. Now batting number 2, Jacob Wright, left fielder. Brings up Jacob Wright, the left fielder. Jacob struck out and doubled his last time up, but was stranded at third. This time he takes a strike right down the plate for strike 1. Shadle throws over to Parker White, the first baseman, but to no avail. So we've got, just as a last name, we've got on the Bruins team from Western Branch, we've got 2 players named Wright, W-R-I-G-H-T, and on the Dolphins we have 2 players named White, W-I-G-H-T. So we don't know what might come out of my mouth. But as it stands, it's 0-2 on Jacob Wright. Shadle throws back but does not get the runner at first. Seth Sadler, the second baseman. Cooper Angley setting up outside, and there's a pitch, but it just leaks over the plate a little too much. Jacob Wright swings, but he fouls it back. It's still 0-2. Runner on first, no outs. Top of the 5th inning. Scores 5-0 Cape Henry Dolphins over the Western Branch Bruins. And there's a off curveball that missed way outside for strike. Excuse me, for ball 1. That pitch was so outside, I wanted to call it a strike. Throws over again, and Parker White does a nice job of applying the tag, and not gently. He sweeps that mitt down with as much force as his 6'4" body can put behind a glove, but doesn't get the call there. And so there's a little flare, but that's right at Reed Downs. And so the left fielder makes the catch there. For the first out of the inning. Now batting number 8, Nick Poole, center field. So Poole stands in. He's grounded out twice to the second baseman. So with 1 out and a runner on first, this could be a double play. But instead, he takes it low inside, ball 1. Tanner throws it over to first again. Going to look something up here for the Bruins. And there's a call strike on the outside corner. So the runner at first, Sadler, has played in 9 games and he has no stolen bases. But Tanner, practicing his move to first, apparently is concerned enough. And there's another strike. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Poole, with 1 out and a runner at first. And there's a ground ball to Martinez again, who drops it and does make the throw over to first to get 1. So Poole hits his third 4-3 and just got him. Now batting number 4, Logan Adams, third base. That brings up Logan Adams, and he's struck out twice already in this game. So runner moves over to second, Sadler, on that ground out. Fielder's choice. But I think Martinez, the freshman, was thinking double play and dropped the ball, but had enough wherewithal to get it over to first. And just got the runner. That play was very close, but field umpire Manny said it was still an out. We take it. So Adams has a 2-ball and no strike count to him. And there's one right down the plate for strike 1. A couple of hard plays in the field for field umpire Manny to make. And there's a drive to left center, and that's going to get to the fence. That'll drive in the first run of the game for Western Branch. And so Logan Adams doubles for Western Branch's first RBIs of the game, or RBI of the game. And so with 2 outs, it brings up, now batting number 24, P.J. Tone, first base. P.J. was hit by a pitch and doubled his last time up, and now he's up again with a runner on base. So Adams is at second. There's 2 outs in the inning, and Western Branch has their first run across the plate. So it's 5-1 Cape Henry here in the 5th. And there's a nice pitch, but fouled back. So Tone has 1 ball and 1 strike. DH Carter Cron in the deck. And Joshua Wright, the shortstop, in the hole. That ball's outside. So 2 balls, 1 strike. On this very nice day here at Cape Henry Collegiate. There's a beautiful curveball. That pitch was really well constructed and thrown at the perfect time. Pretty sure PJ was looking for something a little harder than that. So there's a 2-ball and 2 strike count with 2 outs here in the 5th. And another nice pitch, and this time it gets away from Angley, but he steps out and throws him out. So a strikeout for the 3rd out. So Western Branch does get their first run of the game on a leadoff single and then a double by Logan Adams, the 3rd baseman. But that's all the damage they'll do here in the 5th, and we'll go to the bottom of the 5th with Cape Henry ahead 5 runs to 1 run. So we have a new pitcher for the Bruins, and that's going to be number 16, Zach Kincaid. So Kincaid will take over the pitching duties from Gavin Bernot, excuse me. So Zach Kincaid is the new pitcher of record. And that's going to bring up Andrew Hart. Now batting, number 4, Andrew Hart, center field. So Andrew singled and flied out to the center fielder his last time up. So single his first time, flied out to the center fielder, and he stings and hits a little flare that the center fielder will not make the play this time. And he's got his second hit of the game. Now batting, number 12, Parker White, first base. This brings up Parker White. Parker leads the team with 5 homers, and this would be a good time to get one here as the wind is blowing now from left to right, and that's Parker's place. But he takes ball high off Kincaid. As I said, Andrew Hart is the fastest guy on the Dolphins team, so we'll see if they give him a green light. And you've got a right-hander on the mound now instead of the lefty. And there's a ground ball to the first baseman who makes a nice play, but that's only going to move Hart over. Now batting, number 34, Nate Jensen, right field. So that'll bring up Nate Jensen. Nate struck out his first time up. And I believe he walked his last time up. Yes, he did. So runner in scoring position, the speedy Andrew Hart at second. Jensen looking to keep the ball fair, in play somewhere. Find a hole or get the ball out of the infield at least. He takes ball 1. Swings through that fastball by Kincaid right down the middle for strike 1. Jensen hitting .288 before this game. He swings through that one. Off speed and high, but looked good to Nate. And he went for it, and he's got 1 ball and 2 strikes on him now, with Hart standing at second base. That ball's outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And that ball's fouled back. Kincaid's ERA is a whopping 14. He's had 1 appearance. He's given up 3 hits and 2 runs in that 1 appearance, according to Max Preps. So we'll see what the Dolphins can do against Nate Kincaid. And there's a ball over the head of Jensen. Ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Hart standing at second base. And there's ball 4. So Jensen walks, and that brings up, now batting number 6, Reed Downs, left fielder. Reed Downs. And Downs struck out and grounded out to the pitcher his last time up. So Reed is 0 for 2, but he's got 2 runners on, and he squares the bunt, and he lays down a beauty this time to the third baseman, who takes it and throws it out, and then here comes Andrew Hart, and he's safe at home, and that moves Jensen over to third. So Downs lays down the bunt, third baseman fields it, throws it to first, and a beautiful play by the first baseman, P.J. Tone, to stay on the bag and throw Downs out. But in the meantime, Andrew Hart from second is just keep running, and he scores standing up, and Jensen goes to second. So Reed Downs on a sacrifice bunt gets an RBI. Now batting number 35, Chris Martinez, second base. So Martinez takes a ball inside and high, ball 1. So again, Downs sacrifice bunt and gets an RBI out of it. And he almost beat it out. But there are 2 down and 1 run in here in the 5th. There's another ball high and outside. So Martinez is ahead on the count, 2 balls and no strikes. I think P.J. Tone, the first baseman, who made that beautiful play. And there's a line drive up the middle for another base hit from Martinez and another run for the Dolphins. So Martinez has his second hit of the game and another RBI. And we're back to now batting number 3, Yoon Che, shortstop. Top of the order, Yoon Che. And there are 2 more runs in for the Dolphins, and they now lead 7-1 here in the 5th. Yoon takes inside for strike 1. So Chris Martinez, 2 hits today, 2 for 3. And there's a shot to right field, and the right fielder gets there but drops the ball, and the umpire says it's fair. And the runners had a hold up, and that's going to be an error for an E9. Now batting number 26, Jack Wickham, third base. So Wickham comes up, so a 3-base error. Martinez had to wait to see if the right fielder would come up with the ball, and when he dropped it, he scooted all the way around to third. So runners on second and third, 1 out, and there's a ball high and inside on Wickham. Jack struck out, hit into a fielder's choice, and singled his last time up. 1 for 3. Got 2 ducks on the pond here. Chance to get 2 runs in with a base hit. And that ball is also inside, ball 2. Tanner Shadle in the hole on deck. And there's a ball hit to the shortstop, who bobbles it, comes up and throws it, and the first baseman is off the line, and that allows a run to score and another safe call. And that's going to be an error on the shortstop. Now, now, now batting number 1, Tanner Shadle, pitcher. Tanner scorches one past the third baseman, and Wickham's going to go all the way from first to third and allow Shadle to go to second. So that's a base hit for Tanner. And like I said, Wickham went all the way to third base. Yoon scores from third for another RBI. And the Dolphins now have 4 runs in the inning. Now batting number 14, Cooper Angley, catcher. So a base hit. Wickham goes to third. Shadle goes to second on the throw. And there's a ball right down the middle for strike 1 on Cooper. It's 2 outs in the inning. So again, the Dolphins with 2 outs string together a bunch of hits, and their base running has been aggressive, and they've got 4 runs up on the board. And there's a line shot up the middle for a base hit, and that's going to get 2 runs in. And that's going to do it here at Cape Henry. So Cooper Angley gets a base hit, scores 2, and by the Mercy Rule Run League rule, this game is over 11-1. So 1 swing of the bat, and we go home early on a Friday night, Cinco de Mayo. Happy us! Hey! The non-alcoholic margaritas are on me, guys. Nice job today. All parties played good baseball. Dolphins, hard to stop this team when they are hitting and running the way they did. Western Branch, their pitcher, first pitcher, Burnett, did a nice job. But again, this Dolphin team, who are the state champions from last year, are just relentless. They have no holes in their lineup, especially their freshman at second base, hitting in the 9-hole. Who went 2 for 3 and scored his own run and had 3 RBIs. That's a good team. We wish Western Branch a safe ride home back to Chesapeake. Thank you, Bruins, for coming out and spending your day with us. Best of luck in your playoffs, which start next week. So we'll sign off here. Thanks again to Wyatt, RJ, and Cameron for your help today. Appreciate it, guys. And we'll catch you next week during the playoffs. So have a great weekend. We'll catch up to you next time. Thanks. Bye.